What I would like to see for our country is democracy-friendly development growth. I would like to call for aid and investment that will strengthen the democratization process by promoting social and economic progress that is beneficial to political reform.
But Burma today is not problem-free. Ethnic violence over the last week has left at least 28 people dead. A situation Aung San Suu Kyi said worried her greatly, but one which she added carefully could only be solved by the rule of law. And asked whether she was able to forgive Burma's former regime and its role in separating her from her husband and children for 2 decades, Aung San Suu Kyi was equally pragmatic.
I've always said that what has happened in the past should be addressed in the way in which Archbishop Desmond Tutu says that such matters should be addressed, that we should look for restorative rather than retributive justice. And at this moment, what I want most of all is reconciliation and not retribution.
And so Burma's pro-democracy leader, a woman regarded by many as an equal to Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, moves now to Oslo, where on Saturday she will receive the Nobel Prize awarded to her over 20 years ago, but which she has only now been allowed to accept. Imogen Folks, BBC News, Geneva.
Well, let's talk now to Maung Zarni, a visiting fellow with the London School of Economics. Thanks very much for being with us. There is this ongoing violence back in Burma and Rakhine State. Aung San Suu Kyi here in Europe. Should she have stayed behind to help deal with this?
Well, I mean, the situation has put her in a very, very difficult position because, you know, the issue touches on very sensitive ethno-religious issue of, like, you know, a Muslim Rohingya versus, like, the Buddhist Rakhines and that. Also, if she had stayed on, you know, she would be pressed locally to come out very clearly on the issue of Rohingya citizenship. You know, even at the ILO press conference today, you know, several journalists from Europe pressed her to come, you know, to explain her position on the citizenship, and she's stuck to her gun, which is that, you know, citizenship law has to be the tool to resolve the issue.
Because she did offer to mediate on this issue, didn't she?
Yes, she did. But you know, one of the most astounding things in this situation is that the Burmese regime has consistently kept her at bay when it comes to resolving ethnic conflict, because they know she carries enormous moral persuasion and power to mediate conflicts, you know, peacefully, and they don't want that. They want to be in charge of, like, they want to pick what strategy they want to use in dealing with different ethnic issues.
Well, let's talk about their strategy in Rakhine State, because there's been simmering tensions there for a while, but then we had this case of a woman, a Buddhist woman, raped and murdered. Is that what sparked all of this, or are there other factors?
Well, I think, like, rape happens in all, you know, religious context, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian. I think the religious background of a victim or perpetrators should not be an issue. And it becomes issue for 2 reasons. One is that the state media has emphatically stated that this is a woman raped by Islamic, you know, a man. And second, the Burmese, you know, in the country have been using social media, such as Facebook, as a tool to incite this type of ethnic violence and to spread anti-Muslim hate speech.
Why would the Burmese government want to stoke up tension and violence in this area?
Well, I mean, like, you know, some say, like, you know, the Burmese government is trying to restore order and, you know, protect the citizens in the Western Burma. But, you know, like, if you look at the empirical evidence that the state media itself has used the Burmese equivalent of the word nigger, you know, extremely pejorative word to describe the ethnic people with the Islamic background. And then, like, within, like, 48 hours, the state media printed a short apology. But then, like, you know, the public that is generally anti-Muslim in the country, in the Buddhist country, took it as a coded, you know, endorsement by the Burmese regime itself. And to me, what's most interesting is the timing. This is an issue that has been going on for decades. Why now, when the West and other international community are pressing the Burmese regime to come forward faster with the reform? And it's too convenient for this conflict to happen without the military's indirect endorsement.
Maung Zarni, thank you very much for joining us with that. We are going to bring you a special